Alright, so I almost forgot to set up the camera here. Before you put on the sticky sound dampener, the backside is it's like a sticker, right? Make sure you clean everything. Vacuum it out, get all the dustiness out. If it's dirty, best thing to do is use denatured alcohol and wipe it down. And I have this little roller. It's basically a hard plastic. It's a solid, so that way you could roll around. Otherwise, you're gonna have to like push it with your thumb, and your thumb's gonna get real sore real fast. So I actually, in this part here, I actually don't need a piece that's this big. I probably would have been okay with like a piece about like that much. So I could have cut this down, like that. And I would have been fine. But I was kind of lazy about it, so I'm like, oh, a sheet fits like this, which is fine. So I already peeled off, about one block here. One square width, and I, basically make sure that it was as centered as I could make it, to basically just get the initial setup. So now I'm slowly peel off the back a little bit at a time. While I do that, I'm gonna roll the rest of it on there. See, I didn't roll this first edge yet. I'm gonna roll this first edge. Okay, that first edge is on. Edge here. You don't need to put too much pressure on this thing. Obviously the shape of the trunk and whatever panel you're on, it's never going to be perfectly flat. So that's so that's a given, which is fine. And some of those little tight spots you might have to use your thumb a little bit, but for the most part, the roller works really well. And as you roll this, you actually see the each square. Each square is kind of raised, sort of a bubble. It raises. And as you roll this, the square will actually flatten out. It basically flattens out. So that means you roll that spot already. If it hasn't been flattened out, that means you haven't rolled that spot yet. Just a little bit at a time. The reason why I'm doing it a little bit at a time like this is because it's not flat. Because there's these little low spots and high spots. If I just lay the whole thing at once, and I just go over those low spots, the sticker will stick to the high spot, and there'll be a empty space underneath the low spots. So if I try to go roll that, it basically kind of stretches this, and I don't want to do that. I want this piece to conform to the surface versus stretching it out. I'm not sure how stretchy this thing actually is. I know it's sort of like a rubberish material, so there probably is a little bit of stretchiness to it, but again, I don't know. I'm not sure how much stretch it has. So having this roller makes a big difference. It makes it easier, You don't want to bust up your fingers trying to push this stuff on. Trying to press this stuff on here. The next spot I could do a bigger spot because it's wider. There's little couple dips, but can't really do nothing about that. You notice I'll start in the middle, and I roll it that way. I don't want to just roll straight across this way, because I'm trying to lay it out, you know, spreading it out. So it's best to start in the middle. That way you don't have like air bubbles. You know, you're pushing out the air bubbles. I'm just pushing out the air bubbles. So that's the cool thing about having these squares too, all those blocks, so you know, if you have centered your piece right and everything, aligned it right, you know where you're at. Hopefully, you will get it right. There's two divots right here. There's one right here. I don't think I could get that in there. A little bit, because this stuff is, it is rubbery, so it does have to come a little bit of give to it. So let me push this in and kind of stretch the material out a little bit right there. Same thing with this side. I think the rubbery side has more give than the foil side. The foil side, I don't think it has any give at all. So those couple divots here probably will have a little air pocket there. I'm pretty sure it has an air pocket right in there, right in these two divots, these two spots right here. Not really anything you have to do about that. Just the way it is. Might get a little air pocket right in here too. Round shape there. There's a rivet right here, so I'm just gonna basically put this right over that. Nothing I can do about that either. It's right there, right in the spot right there. Obviously this is your trunk, so this plane is working space. Sometimes when you're in tight quarters, not much you could do. You might not be able to get the roller in, which is fine. I mean, it'd be ideal to get the roller in there, but if you can't, you can't. Just means it just won't stick as well, that's all. So right, that spot right there, that rivet. So main thing, what this vibration dampener would do. So people call it sound dampener. It's not really a sound dampener, it's more of a vibration dampener. The main thing that this would do is, as far as the interior of the car, it will make it less, basically less boomy. You know, especially with when the top's up. If you listen to the car when the top's up, it's very boomy. When the top's down, you don't hear that too much. It's not so bad. But when the top's up, it's definitely boomy. And hopefully this, I think a lot of that boominess comes from the trunk, you know, from the exhaust. And the exhaust vibrates all the sheet metal on the panels, and that will cause that boominess. There's 2 more rivets right here as well. I just have to work around that. It's just the way it is. I say rivet? No, that's not a rivet. Excuse me, that's not a rivet right here. This is a high spot. So there's a low spot divot and the high spot. So this is concave, this is convex. That's what that is. I was wondering, like, no, that doesn't feel like a rivet. See, I'm kind of trying to mold it around because I don't want to have elbows. It's not like you're tinting windows or anything like that, but I think it gives as solid of a contact as possible to minimize the vibration. This is what this stuff is for reducing vibrations. Hear the difference already. That much, you know, it's not like before it was all clank clank clank. Much better, much better. Better already. Look at that. Hear the difference? So I'm gonna put a little strip here, and you know, and along the 2 sides, and call this thing, or maybe a little on the back here as well. Back here's not too bad. But yeah. So that's basically how you put on the vibration dampening or sound dampening. It really is vibration dampening, not sound dampening. It just reduces the vibration. And that's it. Thanks for watching.